I don't know how we're gonna get out of this one. Hi everyone, today we're talking about Arrow's latest episode, This Is Your Sword. Let's start with some quick thoughts. Okay, so I'm finally caught up on The Flash, so I now know where the canary scream came from. Ray made Felicity sign something that said transfer of ownership. So is he giving the company to her? Because that's kind of crazy and awesome. I'm hoping we're gonna find out more about that next week. You also have to love how she's just like, just sign here. What am I signing? Felicity, you should probably read things before you sign them. Just saying. Moving on to Roy and Thea. So they had a reunion, you know, said their goodbyes. And I'm glad they gave us an explanation as to why she doesn't actually go with him, but goes back home. Moving on to Oliver's plan. I like that right at the beginning they give us a hint that, well, you know how last week you thought that Oliver wasn't really Oliver? Well, yeah, it was just a trick. And you can see that hint of Oliver coming back in his face and you're like, ah, he's not also him. And of course that's completely revealed when Oliver meets up with Malcolm. What? So he wasn't turned in 3 weeks, which seemed like a little too easy. However, now I'm wondering, shouldn't Roz be a little more suspicious of Oliver becoming also him so fast? I mean, Roz is a smart guy, so wouldn't he be like, really? It only took 3 weeks to turn you? But I do wonder also, how did he know he wasn't killing Diggle at the beginning of last week's episode? So many questions. So the team is now heading back and following Malcolm, and I love that Tatsu and Ray are coming along for the ride because they certainly need the help. Speaking of help, I don't know about you, but I thought it was very surprising that Laurel could hold her own against like 3 League of Assassins guys. I was like, no way! You like barely have learned how to fight. You cannot defeat 1 or 2. Granted, she didn't defeat all of them, but she defeated quite a few, and I'm like, so, you know, I don't know about that. I actually wish she had used her scream on them, because then I would have been like, okay, I can kind of believe that. But I guess the others didn't have stuff in their ears, so maybe it wasn't practical, but that would have been cool. The fight between Tatsu and Maseo was probably the most heartbreaking moment of the episode, especially with her having to put him out of his misery and just holding him in her arms as he's dying. It's just like, okay, all right, Arrow, all right, you got me on this one, damn it. And then on the flip side, I love how Felicity throws her tablets at that guy and then he goes down and she's like, whoa. And then it turned out that it was Malcolm that really killed him. She's like, oh, damn it. I always enjoy those lighter moments in Arrow. I think it's a good balance because they have some pretty dark moments. So unfortunately the plan didn't work out and they are now prisoners. Not sure that's how Oliver thought it was gonna work out, but then again, it was kind of predictable. I mean, how are they gonna get in there and defeat the whole league? Felicity's face when Oliver mentioned his wedding to Nyssa was like heartbreaking. I mean, poor girl has had enough, I think. She's just like, okay, now you're marrying her? Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Can we please stop tearing at my heart? Please. And then we get Malcolm's betrayal of Oliver. And I'm like, just when I was starting to kind of like you again and I thought you were redeeming yourself, it's like, nope, still looking out for himself. Or is he? Is this part of the plan? Was he supposed to give up Oliver? I don't know now. I don't know. And then they throw the virus into the room with everyone in there and lock them in there. And that's just like, and again, I don't know. I just don't know what to think at this point because I'm like, how are we getting out of this one? Obviously we're getting out of this. I just don't know how. My only guess is that maybe it wasn't really the virus that he threw in there. Maybe Oliver switched it out or something. That's the only explanation that I have. I'm kind of worried right now. Kind of worried though. We end with Oliver's wedding to Nyssa. And again, I'm like, how are we getting out of this? Then another part of me thinks, well, is this even legal? I mean, is their League of Assassins wedding really legal? Like in the real world? Like if they go back to Starling City, would they still be married? Or is it just, according to the league, you're married, but you're really not legally married? I guess that you could, you know, get out of. Kind of excited about next week's finale because hopefully that will wrap everything up and close the book on the League of Assassins, or at least a little bit, a little chapter. I really don't know what to expect except the fact that apparently Barry will make an appearance next week according to the preview, so that'll be interesting. And it looks like the city is kind of in a chaos. possibly because of the virus. So we'll see, can't wait. Oh, those are my thoughts, but of course I'd love to hear from you guys and what you thought of the episode. Did you enjoy it? Have you figured out what the ultimate plan is to get out of this? Do you think there is a plan? What's going on? Let me know in the comments. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet so you don't miss my last hour review and other videos we put on the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye! So since Roy gave back his costume to Thea with a note saying, well, red always looked better on you, do you think that now she's gonna get a costume that is red or kind of looks like his? Because that would be kind of cool. And then I'm also wondering if Roy starts doing vigilante work again, what costume will he be wearing then? Just, you know, food for thought.